Right, now go ahead. Oh,
Okay. Because hold on. Let me record. You got to give me permission to record.
I did.
Okay. So and this was just like recently. I just submitted this assignment. So basically, we had to read a little bit of Frederick Douglass's and Malcolm X's learning to read and write and learning to read. Their excerpts from their like autobiographies or biographies. So basically, when Frederick Douglass, hold on, when Frederick Douglass was basically learning to read, basically one of his masters or slaveholders' wives was teaching him to read, and the slaveholder, he came in and basically like he was like, I gotta read it. I gotta read it. I'm sorry, I gotta find it in my stuff because I had to tell you the exact words.
Okay.
But moral of the story is basically he was like, you can't teach him how to read and write because he will be more advanced and he will know what we're doing, exactly what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find it. Hold on.
Okay. This is good knowledge, people. Something that she would not get here. Definitely.
Okay, let's see. Okay, he said, and quote, it was unlawful as well as unsafe to teach a slave to read. He also says that a nigger should I know nothing but to obey his master, to do as he is told to do. Learning would spoil the best nigger in the world. If you teach that nigger, speaking of Frederick Douglass, how to read, there would be no keeping him. It would forever unfit him to be a slave. Now tell me that does not correlate to what is going on now. They're trying to ban all of this stuff to keep us in that mindset of we will not go any further.
Yes. I was gonna tell you stop beating on the thing because you know
Sorry. I get a little passionate because it just does not make any sense. And they're trying to be slick about it and trying to be like, oh, this teaching this stuff is just making white kids feel what's the word?
bad.
Feel bad about slavery and feel bad about what all we did. Should y'all not feel bad? Should y'all not? And should they not learn the history also? Because basically it's all a lie. Y'all are fabricating this good America. We're just living in a great society, and this America is just so amazing. And America is really not that good. Like it's not.
Listen, I feel like I said, we can't talk about everything right now, but Lord, I hope that when it's all said and done, that we can talk about everything that we have experienced the last 8 months and the year before in 1 month, because some of this ties in together with not being equal to others in a sense. And it started with, you know, everything that has gone on in the last couple of years with um, different things, national events that have happened or incidents that have happened. And, you know, we don't want to touch on that because I'm already being labeled as a politician. So, with that being said, I'm going to say this. We have jumped to the education part of going back to segregating education in a sense. And it's going to get to the point where they're using critical race theory to segregate our classrooms in a sense. Now, nobody really wants to admit it, but you're already dividing classrooms because you get the gifted to go over here and be on one team, and then you get the not so gifted or they learn a different way.
It's so crazy because that's exactly how it was like when we were in middle school and stuff. Like I know me and Jasmine because we were smarter people. I wouldn't even say smarter people, like we just got better grades. Like it was knowledgeable, and we was just talking about this too. Gold and blue. Those were the two separate teams that we had. And they try to make it seem like, oh, like it's no difference between the two. But we always knew, okay, gold was always smarter than blue.
Mhm.
Blue had all those kids that had what do they call them?
What?
Like learning disabilities or stuff like that. Like they placed those kids on blue. Like it was just like we knew that. But the thing was like I don't even know if me and Jasmine were probably the only two Black girls that were on gold. But if we it was a little bit amount, it was a little amount of us. I know that much. It wasn't a whole bunch of us.
So it was not a whole bunch of you. And the only reason why I remember this is because Jay, I remember going to your honor society assembly, or not assembly, event.
Gotcha.
And it was just like you see 100 kids. And I hate to put it like this, but people of different races stand out amongst all the other people in a sense. So you come in here and, you know, out of 100 kids or 110 kids, you may have 5 people of other races, if not 10. And I may be,
I say 7.
that's what I'm thinking too. So in a sense, I'm looking like, okay, what the devil is going on here? Because I know that they have smart kids. And then you have to go through the selection process. And it's just like, okay, so what if those teachers don't like those specific kids for whatever reason, or they shown a little resistance on going along with the common, what should I say, mindset
To be kissing teachers' behinds? Absolutely.
Yes. So in a sense, I would even question, what's the point of going through honor society if you already have your selections of who you want to do well, in a sense. It doesn't mean just because I think differently or I learn differently, then I'm not as smart as those people that you have selected, because that's not true either. Just because you're book smart doesn't mean that you're street smart. Street people are very smart.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that just because I didn't learn how to read faster or something like that doesn't mean that I'm not exceptionally smart. It doesn't mean that I can't properly articulate myself. It doesn't mean that I can't write a paragraph or type a paragraph.
But they least expect that from you.
And I think
You are.
Yeah, I think that people need to understand, you can't put labels on us of who we are. It doesn't matter your race. Stop putting labels on us to think that, oh, even with my current situation, who's writing for you? Who's writing those emails? I'm writing those emails. you know? So I have been taught, and I will always say Lake Forest did a great job with us, when we were in school, of making sure that we did what we were supposed to do. And when Jake started at Lake Forest,
Who was your teacher that made sure that you learned all that stuff?
that I learned to be professional, that was Miss Teddy Morris, because she could read anybody, didn't matter which way, and still could read anybody to this day professionally. And she knew her stuff. She was always by the book. And that's how I am. If you tell me something and it's not true, I'm gonna go research it, and then I'm gonna present it back to you in a sense. But again, it was not that many African American teachers there as well. So we relate to people that look like us, that take an interest in us, not, oh, they're not smart, they don't get A's. It doesn't matter if you got straight A's or straight F's at the end of the day. It just means maybe school is not for you. Maybe education in that form is not for you. College is not for everybody as well. I will say that. But it can work for people. And I feel like we need to get back to the point where like my niece was saying, she had her whole spiel like, I don't want to pay that money for college. I'm already smart. What am I doing that for? Put me in a job and I will master that. And I get it because we spend so much money on educating ourselves.
And let's talk about that. They all talking about Biden and how he's putting this thing to forgive the student loans, and Republicans are just so upset, and they're just like, well, we pay back our student loans, and you should be able to pay back your student loans. Let's just say Black women are literally the people that are in most student loan debt. It's a known fact. Student loan debt alone now is just too much money, and people are not going to be able to pay that back. People are paying their debt for the rest of their lives. So literally, but again, college wasn't that much back when the people that are saying that people need to pay back their loans, that they paid off their loans. College wasn't that much money when they went to school. So obviously, we're not going to be able to pay back that debt.
Listen, let's talk about legacy for a minute. When your parents have gone to school, and I will say this because I just had a conversation with a reporter a couple weeks ago about this, because they asked me, you have this, and I said, yeah, because I put myself through school. In a sense, it's different when that's your only option at the end of the day, meaning you get that buy-in to say, you know what, if you go this route to go to school, you get ahead, you can make more money.
It's people that literally go to school for 4 years or go to school for X amount of years and still don't come out with no job.
We were promised something. We were promised a good opportunity.
That was the American lifestyle. That's what they wanted y'all to think. I'm going to go to school, go to college, then I'm going to go out and get a job, and then I'm going to go into retirement. Yeah. And live out like 10 years of my life.
But it's just like, why do we have to work so hard in a sense to get a possible better life?
Well, we've always had to work hard.
What did you say?
We've always had to work hard. We've had to work hard since we was brought over on the slave ships. We ain't had no choice but to work.
And we are not afforded the same opportunities, meaning that we are not given those discounts of, if your legacy, oh, well, you can go to this PWI and get a certain percentage off, or if we're friends with this person, then their kids get to go to a college for free, or they get certain jobs because, oh, their parents were in this job, or they have connections. We don't operate like that. And I think that's a different way of handling things. But no, we got to get what we can get. We got to work for it. We don't have that nepotism within the Black.
And it's funny because a lot of people think that me personally, like, I've just had stuff handed to me. And I'm not going to say I haven't been spoiled my whole life. But one thing about me, I've always worked hard. Like, I've always gotten the best grades. I've always put my all out. Like, it wasn't nothing. I haven't just had stuff handed to me. And that's nothing that I have done, especially with college. Because I write all my papers, I do all my work, I make sure my stuff is in. I don't even play like that. Like, I work for everything.
Listen, you were told early on before you even went. What did I say to you? I'm going to tell you right now, I already wrote my papers. I'm good. If I got to take some college courses right now, I know where I am as an individual. I know that I don't have no patience for that. I've already done that for years. I've already went to classrooms and sat for hours at a time. This is your time. You say you want to go to college, this is what you're going to do. I'm not saying you're going to make the X amount of money. I'm hoping that you will. But I hope that you get into a career that you love and that you don't hate because you had to go into it because you had to pay back some money. Because it's a lot of us like that. Like, I love my job at the end of the day, but can I make more money probably somewhere else, in a sense, like in another different area? Probably so. Like, if I went that route, yeah. But just because you make more money doesn't mean that you're going to like your job or you're going to be happy. That doesn't always equal out. It doesn't balance. So that's why I always say I've been on my job for a very long time and I actually like it. I love the knowledge that I get from keeping to push myself to learn more in a sense. So I just feel like, when you guys are younger in your college years, I think you feel like that, okay, I need to go in here and take care of my business, handle my business. But at the same time, you should be learning too instead of just doing schoolwork. You should be taking that information in of, okay, this is what's going on in our world, in our country, and it's not equal. It's still not equal. I don't care how many times people will try to say, education is equal. It's not. It's not.
Well, it's not at all.
So that's
and you're not going, that's a whole nother thing. You're not going to know. I know very few people that actually know what they want to do when they graduate. I'm a sophomore in college and I just don't know what I want to do. I don't. I want to go into education. I want to be a politician. I want to go into law. I want to be a lobbyist. I want to do like a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know.
Try it all, honey.
Probably at all. It's giving politician though, the way that these people is acting. Maybe I need to run for office for something.
I think you should, I think that you can do that and you have every opportunity to do that at the end of the day because it makes people think, okay, wait a moment. She said all of that and she's only 20 or 19. I'm sorry. So it's just like, what are we doing?
They say they didn't expect it from me. It's a lot of people that didn't expect this from me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But also, Jay, I wanted to touch on this too. When our kids come to us and tell us that they want to go to college or that they want to leave the nest or leave the state, I feel like you should support them in the process of that. I feel like that so many kids don't get that opportunity to blossom and broaden their horizons in a sense because a lot of us parents didn't have the same opportunity. So we feel like, oh, we don't want them to do that. They should stay here with us. No, allow them to grow. I was at peace. When I dropped you off a couple of weeks ago, I was just like, I was sitting on a college campus and that was my Winning Wednesday post last week. I was sitting on the campus and I was just like, wow, if you look at the different people that I saw, the different parents coming from different states, California, Texas, I'm coming from Delaware, and we're all at a storage facility making sure that our kids get back to Spelman and Clark and Morehouse. And it's just like we're producing beautiful people in the process of everything. Like this is our future. These are going to be our future politicians and whatever other career that they go in. But it was just very nice to see that piece of it, that when I was on my way back, I saw two parents in two different cars going to Howard. And it's just like, man, we are really doing it. Like, it's just very peaceful. I'm not stressing about nothing. I'm glad that she is growing as a person because I feel like she would have been limited in Delaware in a sense. So that's my take as a parent. But like I said, support your children with whatever ideas that they have. Don't place your limitations on them because I feel like it can hurt them for a lifetime. It can hurt generations behind them based on your limitations on what you will teach them. I know when we started talking about Clark, it was like, no, go to Del State. Go to Del State. Why would you do something like that? And it's just like, well, dang, the whole family went to Del State. Can we do something different now? No knock against Dell State, but I'm just saying, can we do something different?
And it's okay, like I said, and like my friend told me, he said, like, it's okay if you like just go, and then if you don't like it, then do just come home. Like, it's okay if you do come home, but just like go and see like what you want to do, like do exactly what you want to do. And like he was like, you know that your family is going to support you, you know they're going to be here for you and all of that. So it's just like, just go out and do what you want to do. And it's just like, where I already know, I don't even know where I'm finna end up. Like,
Yeah.
I could be here, I could be back home, I could be all the way across the country, I could be in another country. You just never know. So
Mhm.
it's just like, whatever that you do, make sure you do it for you. Make sure you're making that decision. And the money gonna come back. That's all I know. I already know. I just keep on putting it out there. My loans is gonna be paid off somehow, some way. It's not. I ain't gonna do it, but
Yeah.
somebody gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be debt free. I'm going to be in a career that I want to be in. I'm going to be doing something that I love. I'm going to be making good money, and I'm going to be happy.
Speak life, girlfriend, into existence. That's positive affirmations.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So
Certain.
what else? What else was we? What else did I learn my first year of school?
You learn to have patience with people. Um,
Absolutely.
I feel like that you were very mature in situations and you handle it the best way that you can handle it. Me,
My
myself,
mom says that I'm too nice. I believe I learned that. I'm
yeah.
so nice. Because it's people that I should have popped that I did. I spared them. Yes, I did. But definitely, I learned my first year to set boundaries with people. Or I learned my lesson with not setting boundaries, that I need to set boundaries with people. Because if you people don't have common sense, people don't.
Mhm.
That's and literally the crazy thing is, my uncle told me that on my graduation day. He said them college people are going to be weird and they don't have common sense. Just to let you know. And I was like, okay, Uncle Murray. He's like, I hear you. I was just like, but I'm playing that back in my head. I'm like, he is totally right. My uncle was not talking no nonsense
Mhm.
at all. Because people are weird and they don't have common sense, common courtesy, nothing like that. Like, people will overstep boundaries that you probably haven't even set. And that's so important to set boundaries with people, because at the end of the day, and like my mom just told me that she was basically saying, if you didn't set the boundary, it's your fault, basically, that people are treating you the way that they are because you didn't set that boundary. It's not, people are not gonna have common sense. People
Mhm.
are not, and people are not going to care whether whatever that you're doing.
Yeah.
People don't, and they don't care. And like that whole thing.
Mm, 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 mm. I feel like I think that you come from a good balanced family of people.
And I was just getting ready to say that everybody's, where you come from, everybody's family is not your family, and what they do in their household is not what you do in your household. Because my people are clean, they are respectful, they gonna get you together, they don't care. My family will talk about you in front of your face, they don't care. But a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And where I come from, my whole family, that the Tolsons, the Scotts, the Cotmans, all of them, they're all different people. They're all different people. So I already come from my family. I love my family, all great people. But I come from people that we're not those kind of people to where we're just all over the place. We're just doing crazy stuff, and we just go out here and just would you run amok,
Yes.
do that kind of stuff. So when people just treat me a certain way or act a certain way or do stuff while in my space, do crazy stuff while in my space, I'm just looking at them like, and I'm like, I'm trying to be nice about it. But again, like, you're testing me. So now I'm just gonna have to, and it's so crazy because the type of person that I am, like, I'll just stop talking to you. I
Mhm.
don't have to have no conversation with you ever again. And I can still wish you the best and want everything to go well for you, but I don't have to speak to you. I will never speak to you again if you do me any kind of wrong. Like, that's the type of person that I am. And maybe it's the Sagittarius in me. Maybe it is, but I'm just never going to speak to you again. And I have no problem with it. I really don't. I will cut people off. What does that say? I'm so great to you when you haven't been good to me.
That
Yeah.
is on my computer right now because I think I heard somebody say it yesterday, and it is so true. I don't hate you, but I will
You
have
can't
to,
be in my space.
yeah,
You
right
can't be in
now.
my space ever, probably ever again. And like I said, I can literally like I'm really the nicest person in the world. Like a lot of people will say that about me. I just don't take no mess. I
Hmm.
don't. So when you like treat me a certain way or you act crazy, that just makes me like totally separate myself from you. And like I said, I will literally cut you off. It'll be no questions asked, no nothing.
Yeah,
And like I said, it's been a couple people that I had to do that to within the past year because I'm like, okay, you try me and I've spared you,
mhm,
but you keep like doing little stuff. And because I care about myself and my future and I want to do something with myself, I'm not going to feed into all that you have going on. I'm not going to feed into that energy. I'm just going to separate myself totally.
yeah. That's what you have to do in a sense, because it's either you or them at the end of the day. I'm
Choose me
telling
every time.
your brother that right now, it's a huge learning lesson that you have to learn early. It's either going to be you or them, and don't let it be you. I don't care what it is. Make sure that it does not be you on the opposite end of the stick,
Mhm.
getting the bad part. So I feel like it's all a learning lesson. Everything happens for a reason. But I feel like that you needed what you went through last year, or
Mhm.
this year, I should say, um, to advance in a better state of maturity. Because, sometimes, like you said, we get to the point where it's just like we're being too nice to people and they're taking advantage of us and they're running over top of us because we're not standing up for ourselves when we really just check them immediately. No, we're not doing that. So you can do whatever you like. If you don't want to, you know, be cordial, you don't want to be respectful to me or my space, then hey, we got to figure this thing out immediately because off the top, when you do something wrong, as crazy as what you experience, man, if I got to get up, ain't nobody sleeping. Nobody. Mm.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So, you're like I said, you're the nicer version of me. Jazz or no Nave,
It would have been on.
that plays a part. You hear me? That's why I love having two daughters because one is the nicer version and one is the other part that sometimes I don't even like India. I should say I don't even like Molly at that point. So yeah.
What else? What else? I think also, me and my friend Zora, we was just talking about this the other day because she called me up and she was like, you know what I was just thinking? Like people are really like chasing this influencer lifestyle and they're all the same. And that's one thing that I learned down here. Like everybody is just chasing this lifestyle. Every girl is dressing alike. They want to be alike. Every girl like has the same hair, doing the same thing, always like just on the same like lifestyle, trying to prove that they're this. And it's just like, honestly, one thing about me, I don't want to be like anybody else. I'm me. God created me to be me. I'm different for a reason. Like it's no possible way that I want to be like anybody else. And I just feel like everybody should have their own identity. And that's one thing with down here. And especially if you go to school, like people are just like weird and they want to all be the same and they all are chasing this dream of being an influencer and being like Jada and Ari and all of them. And trust me, I love Jada and Ari, but I don't want to be like them. Like I want to have my own identity. And if I were to ever be some type of influencer or something like that, I'm going to be me. I'm going to dress like me. I'm going to talk like me. I'm going to like do whatever anything that I do is going to be through me. I'm not trying to be like nobody else. And that's that whole thing. Or try to keep up this image that I'm this person that I'm not. Like everybody got the different stuff. They got they purses, they bags, they expensive bags, and all different kinds of stuff. I don't have it like that.
I feel like, even when I went up to UD on Saturday and I saw two girls up there, and of course they got hair down probably to their feet. And they had one of those, is it the tote bag? They had one somebody,
Pickups.
yeah, it had the tote bag
Even
on
that,
somebody.
everybody's got the same tote
Yeah,
bag. And honestly, I do want a tote bag, but I want it to be leather. I don't want the cheap looking ones. Because them ones that they have, they look cheap. For the $300 that they spending on that big bag, it looks cheap. I want the leather. See, and that's what I'm saying. I'm different. I want my leather. I don't want no cheap looking bag. I want it to be leather that says the tote bag. I don't want no cheap looking bag. And I'm gonna get it.
well, hold on. Let's go back to this influencer situation. I know we're, coming down, but I feel like that people are chasing money.
Mhm.
That's where it's coming into
It's in that quick lifestyle.
yeah, because when, and I will say this again, Jay, when we went to Lenox last year, right?
Mhm.
And I hadn't been to Atlanta in X amount of time. So, this is all new to me. So with that being said, we went into Lenox and I'm like, okay, you got your luxury uh aisle or section. So with that being said, I saw all of these lines of people in a sense. They're standing in line to get into the store to buy whatever. Now this is luxury, thousands, millions of dollars. They have security guards outside of the doors. So with that being said, if someone is coming from a Delaware Christiana Mall to going to a Lenox, it's a different whole mindset. And I'm sure that's where people are coming from in a sense, because it's just like, hold on, wait a minute. I want to be like that. I want to feel like I got money. I may
Yeah.
not have to have it, but I want to feel like I have it. And it's just like, and then you got the image that is coming to y'all through social media constantly. Oh, I gotta have my hair like this. I gotta have the new Yeezys on their prison slides. Their prison slides.
Please.
I gotta have the new sneakers on. I gotta like you. It's the image that is put out there.
Upkeep. It's
So
a upkeep trying to be
the
like everybody else.
and it's just like, and everybody's making it seem like that they're really making money, but at the end of the day, nobody's telling you you gotta pay them taxes on that whatever's coming in, and that's split half of that right there, if not more. So with that being said, I think that some of this stuff is not real in a sense that people are putting out, because
People ain't
rich
showing
people
you
don't tell
everything
others that they're rich at the end of
how
the
much
day.
money they got.
They just don't. And I feel like that it's a lot of that too of, oh, I drive this car. And it's like I saw a girl yesterday and one of the people posted, oh yeah, I helped her get this car or whatever. And I'm just like, people don't even know you can go and get a time gap at car dealerships now to where you can create a reel and you can go in here, rent this space, rent this car, and make it seem like that you got this car that you're not driving. You're not. But a lot of people don't know that. But to y'all's generation, it's just like, oh wow, that's cool. I want a BMW. I want a Porsche. I want to drive that. But it's just like, y'all, it drives the same way that the Chevys and other stuff drive. So
My Honda drives real good.
so yeah, I just feel like it's okay to be an influencer in a sense, but
Just you. Just be you. Don't be trying to be like everybody else. I just, I feel like it's a whole bunch of just people trying to have this image and they're not themselves. Like,
mhm.
but me, I'm gonna be me. I don't want to be like anybody else. I just
Yeah, I
don't.
don't want to be nobody else either, but yeah, who I'm gonna be. You take me as I am, as Mary says. Take me as I am. And if you don't want to, then so be it. Cool with me.
Um, what else? What else? I say one thing, I get out of your room.
Mm,
Don't stay in your room. I had a with me, I'm not really a big party person. I don't like being doing too much. Like I'll go to the club every now and again, like, but I'm more of a person. I'm sitting down, looking at my phone. I'll do a little hookah, but I just don't like being around a whole bunch of people. And people just be doing too much. I'm not the girl in the club like doing all of that. Like, yeah, everybody know what people be doing. I don't be doing all that. Like, I just feel like, no.
Oh, can we touch on this whole freshman situation briefly? So I need y'all, you know, because I had to reach out to my college students yesterday and let them know, listen, I don't like what I'm seeing in the news articles this past weekend. So I'm gonna need y'all, my nieces and my child, y'all need to be people watching, people scanning at all times. I don't care where you are.
I'm always doing that. But them girls, these freshmen is different. I don't know what is going on. They are very different. And like a lot of people have been saying, like they're like they are young, but at the same time, it's kind of like you gotta be wise about what you do. Like it's okay to have fun, it's okay to drink and do whatever, but at the same time, like don't like hold yourself to a certain standard. And that's one thing that I've always done. Like I don't let nobody disrespect me. I like hold myself to a very high standard. I don't do too much. Like if anything, I'm sitting back, like you said, people watching. I'm not doing too much.
Yeah.
I'm in my phone, or if anything, I'll be in my bed, minding my business. But it's just different. Like people just a lot of people don't have respect for themselves out here, and it's just showing. And it's kind of like, okay, where are your parents? And it just shows, and Zora said that too. It just shows who had freedom at home and who didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because people that's probably out here just going crazy. They parents had them on a chokehold. They wasn't doing nothing at home. Y'all wasn't doing nothing, ain't going out, ain't doing nothing. But now y'all get to college and this is like, oh yeah, I'm about to ball out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't do too much because it's gonna stick with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
People will know you for what you've done.
Yeah.
So it's just like
I don't get it. You know, if that was you
I
on
just
the video,
yeah.
you don't have me to worry about. It's some grandmothers. You know, my mom coming down there with the oil, and you gonna get that whole bottle and a beating. Which?
Yeah,
So yeah, but you, as a young woman, you know, it's okay if you want to have fun. I'm not saying that at all, but y'all got to be mindful. You know, we have AIDS, HIV, we have herpes,
monkeypox, COVID.
monkeypox. Like, come on, y'all. Like, you know, y'all got to be mindful. And I know, like they said, when y'all lock eyes with them, you know, it's just like, whoo, because when she locked eyes, I locked eyes too. I was like, oh gosh, like, remember the days, you know, but it is what it is. So, um, you know, just be mindful. That's all I will say. But have fun because you're not gonna get those years back.
Do intentional stuff too. That's what I'm saying. Me and Zora had this whole thing. We finna do something intentional every weekend.
Yeah,
That's our goal for this month. We're
yeah,
gonna do something intentional every weekend and have like a Sunday dinner every weekend. But I'm just like, I don't want to be partying and doing whatever. And I wasn't big on that last year neither. They would be going, my friends would be going out, and I'd just be like, girl, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna sit right here in this room.
yeah,
I'm not doing too much, but I just feel like do things that are intentional, have fun. That's why I say have fun, like go bowling or go shopping. Atlantic Station is my favorite place in the world, probably.
yeah.
I haven't even been since I've been back down here. I need to go, but that's go shopping, do different things, just do fun stuff. Like I definitely want to go to Top Golf. That's one place I really want to go.
Yeah.
Do intentional stuff. Do stuff that is gonna make memories, not just stuff to where oh you partying, smoking, drinking, doing all that. Like do stuff that's you gonna remember that's actually fun.
Yeah, I will agree. So we have to close right now, but yeah, so we will definitely see you guys next time, and we hope that you will tune in.